"Are you that girl off X Factor?" the man asks as he shuffles customers along the self-service checkout queue at W.H. Smith's in Euston Station. "I voted for you." It's been 10 years, and he still remembers my audition. He's being kind. It's not the first time I've been asked that question today. It's actually the question I have been asked the most over the last decade. In 2012, when I was 20 years old, I was a contestant on the UK version of The X Factor. That year, my audition was the 4th most watched video on YouTube in the world, and I became the most Googled artist in the UK. I was the first contestant in the show's history to sing their own songs and play an instrument. When I performed a funny ditty about getting drunk in a northern accent, I became an overnight phenomenon, and I was the bookies' favourite to win the whole show. I've been gigging since I was 12, and I'd already released several EPs, plus a pretty well-received album. Up until that point, it had kept me in beer money, but the day after my audition aired, my track, Last Night, overtook Little Mix, X Factor's winners from the previous year, on the iTunes chart, which was almost exactly the moment I received a call from a lawyer from Simon Cowell's Psycho, one of their companies that produced the X Factor, asking me to take down my music from iTunes. I could see that my album was heading for the top. It eventually climbed to number 5, and Last Night was at number 11 in the singles chart. But what did I do? I took the advice of the lawyer that had been appointed by the show to act on behalf of the contestants and did what Psycho had asked me to do. The next email I got was from the distributor I used, asking if I was sure I wanted to remove the record. In their opinion, Last Night and my album were both headed for number 1. As the show progressed, I won support from viewers for refusing to change my style, not ditching my guitar, and for declining, quite publicly, the advice of the show's makeup artists and the hairstylists. I also remained very much on brand for someone best known for a song about getting drunk, and was often photographed falling out of clubs, totally obliterated. The viewers voted for me, and the tabloids loved me. I rode the wave of positivity through the pre-recorded boot camp stage and onto the judges' houses stage, where you get flown to a very posh hotel abroad that's made to look like your mentor's home. From there, I made it to the live shows and performed every Saturday night, hoping that the public would vote to keep me in the competition. I survived the first live show. I sang the following Saturday night and was voted through again. And then, after being watched by 11 million people every week, I disappeared. The public was told I was ill. I wasn't ill. That wouldn't have required the producers to hire countless privacy specialists and cyber experts to remove any leaked information about what had happened to me from the internet. They bleached the truth from sites like Reddit, Digital Spy, Twitter, Facebook, and the comments sections of online newspapers after the truth had been leaked to the press, allegedly by a member of the Metropolitan Police. Consequently, I have a number of emotions when I'm asked if I'm that girl. Ultimately and unquestionably, the answer is yes, I am, but it always reminds me of what could have happened. It also reminds me of what did happen. If I'd have spoken openly about the reason I disappeared, about why a man was sentenced to 10 years in prison, about the events that altered the course of my life so greatly, I don't think I'd have truly had the space to recover from them. The question I would have been asked at train stations would be, are you the girl that happened to? Sadly, the answer to that question is also, yes, I am. I'm in a strong enough place now to talk publicly about what really happened for the first time, and I'm going to relinquish my legal right to anonymity, something I've clung on to for more than a decade to do so. But I don't just want to write about the fact that I was raped. I can't express how hard it is to put that into black and white, or to talk about it in this audiobook. I also want to talk about everything that happened afterwards. How the press, the police, the X Factor, and the music industry treated me. Because that's also left me with scars which have caused some pretty big issues. Issues that I have worked very hard to overcome. I want to tell you about that part too. I had long-standing problems with drugs and alcohol before I appeared on the programme. Let me tell you, Last Night was based on extremely detailed and thorough research. But what happened when I was on the show made getting sober so much harder. But I did get sober, and sobriety has allowed me to see plenty of things differently. Just as therapy has helped me gain insights which I think other people will find useful if they have been through significant, life-altering experiences too. I look back at the girl I was on the show with a mix of disbelief and pride, but mostly with compassion. I'm still not sure how she survived.